Hey guys, what's going on? This is me, Frank, and today I just heard some amazing news about Resident Evil. Well, it wasn't actually news, but more of a rumor, which has me so excited I just can't contain my joy right now. So for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Frank, and I am such a huge fan of Resident Evil. Well, I mean nowadays at least, back in the 1990s, Resident Evil was absolutely terrible, making those horrible games, which were just so outdated and clunky with those terrible fixed camera angles, like, oh god. It's so terrible. Those games are so outdated. All the people that like those games are so in the past. They need to get out of the past and into the future. Well, the future of gaming. Resident Evil, the best series ever made. Capcom are the best developer ever, and I love them so much. If I could, I would pull down their trousers, pull down their underwear, and literally suck their dick, because I just love them so much. Resident Evil 4 Remake last year was an absolute masterpiece. Resident Evil 2 Remake was a masterpiece. RE3 Remake was a masterpiece. RE8 was a masterpiece. I just love this series so much. But like I said, I just heard an amazing rumor about Resident Evil. Apparently, they're going to be making a Resident Evil remake. The first Resident Evil. And this time, they'll actually make a good remake. Because back in 2002, they made a remake of that game, but that game was just so terrible because it didn't even improve anything. It was the same shit game with the terrible tank controls and the fixed camera angles. They didn't make any changes to the game to make it an actual good game, like RE2 Remake and RE4 Remake. There was no over-the-shoulder camera. There was no realistic, deep dialogue with amazing graphics. The graphics are so terrible in that game. But this time, they can actually make a good remake, because now they have an amazing formula, which is the absolute pinnacle of Resident Evil. Exactly what Resident Evil is meant to be, the real Resident Evil. For the real Resident Evil fans, the real gamers. They can take the amazing new Jill from RE3 Remake and add it to RE1 Remake. The best version of Jill easily. I'm so glad that they decided to do RE1 Remake because it was rumored that Code Veronica X was going to be the next remake, but Code Veronica is terrible. That game is transphobic. It's a transphobic game. We don't need a remake of that game. It was also rumored that they're going to make a Resident Evil 5 remake, which, if they did, they need to get rid of the black characters because that game is racist. As good as that game is, it's a great Resident Evil game, but it's just a racist game. We shouldn't be killing black people. Black lives matter. Come on. Killing black people is wrong and racist, and if you do it, then you are racist. But I just know this game is going to be an absolute masterpiece, like all of the remakes, except the first one, because that just was a terrible game, a terrible remake, not a real remake. But back then, Capcom just didn't know what the hell they were doing. They didn't have the real talent over there at Capcom, but now they do. So now they can make a real RE1 remake, and I'm going to order the game, pre-order the game, day one, as soon as it's announced. Just like all my fellow Resident Evil gamers out there, the real Resident Evil gamers. Not all the old heads that are stuck in the past, playing those terrible, clunky, outdated, shitty games on the PS1 and PS2. Oh god, I just wish I could meet Capcom. Oh, Capcom are just my biggest inspiration, my biggest heroes. I love them so much. If I could just meet the person that made RE2 Remake, and RE4 Remake, and RE8, and RE7, I would be so happy. I would be so happy. But that's all I want to say, guys. I just want to let you guys know that they're going to make an RE1 remake, and I'm so happy, and I hope that they do a great job. What am I talking about? They will do a great job. It's going to be a masterpiece. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Oh, Capcom!